Today we have Mr. Ádám Szesztay, head of the department and works at Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Hungary, and he gave us a presentation on diplomacy, diaspora, and interested relations in Hungarian foreign policy. We welcome you, sir, and thank you so much for your presentation. Could you please summarize that what you were saying during the presentation briefly to us?
Do you allow me first and foremost to express my specific appreciation for this event? I think that's beautiful that there are people here in Central Europe who tackle these issues on the NGO level, have interest and raise awareness of the society that these questions are so important. Of course, we from the part of the public administration try to do our best too. Really, I was asked to demonstrate these issues. Actually, I was talking about the fact that we do not call diaspora policy or minority protection policy. When we speak about diaspora, those are who left Central Europe, but those ethnic Hungarians who remain here, then we call with different names. They are Hungarians abroad or Hungarian communities, etc. Even those part of the Hungarian society who are cherishing another culture than the Hungarian, we do not call already minorities, but they are so-called nationalities in Hungary. Now you raised the question of our minority protection endeavors and our diplomatic relations with our neighboring states. My main message was that since 2010 our policy is not to separate these issues. There is not a separate Hungarian neighborhood policy and a separate Hungarian minority protection policy, but there is only one Hungarian so-called regional policy, which includes minority protection, includes good relations with our neighbors, and because our common interests with our neighbors are not limited to us and them, but to some other partners in the region, like Poland or Bulgaria or Macedonia, or I could list the other countries. That's why we speak about regional policies. We cannot separate them because to have good relations with our neighbors, we must protect the ethnic Hungarian communities in our neighborhood. But in order to protect them, we must have good relations with our neighbors.
So my next question to you, as I noticed, from your presentation that you described, you put the light by drawing a triangle. Like you gave some issues, like the conflict, a mathematical explanation, which is a triangle. And in the triangle, you just from Budapest to Bucharest, and there's another angle. So as a kin state, like Budapest is a kin state of Hungarians, minorities in Romania. So don't you think that the triangle can be expanded to other countries, or is it just, according to your method, is what would you say, Budapest is a kin state, and that angle is heavy. Okay. So what do you think to propose a solution or democratic solutions to the neighboring countries, as you mentioned? So what do you think that triangle?
Of course, the model of the triangle is extended to everybody. I just put as an example Romania because the largest ethnic Hungarian community lives there. But these triangles exist in all our neighboring relations. The triangle means, what I exactly said, that we see in unity our communication with our neighboring states and our communication with the ethnic Hungarian communities living on their territory. This is just one question. If you ask me if this way of thinking that these contacts are triangles where the aim is, because our aim is to have harmony on all the sides of these triangles. So in the relations between Hungary as a state and our neighboring states, as in the relations between Hungary and the ethnic Hungarian community, and in the relation between the ethnic Hungarian communities and the states on which is territory they live. This is certainly a model for us. Nobody wishes to extend its own model for others, because all the situations throughout Europe, all the minority questions are other. We of course study how other countries tackle their inter-ethnic challenges. We try to get
model from the other countries too, and try to
yes,
implement
and of course our model might be interesting for others. We are ready to converse, to have dialogue with anybody on that, but we do not have to press anybody. We do not think that the Hungarian model is only working solution for ethnic questions.
So my last question is, what do you think by raising this national identity, issue, by organizing the conferences like this, can bring awareness to the government officials, to the different levels of society, level of society, or different sectors of the government? What do you think? I mean, what this kind of activities can relate it to the issues? What do you think? What would be the prospect? For example, we as ICRP raise this question. What do you think is like? Can this message, can be spread it out to others and officials or the policymakers?
Certainly, although I don't think that to convince, at least here in Hungary, the decision makers about the importance of this issue is the most important mission of your activity, because my general assessment is that the usual officials in Hungary, especially those who deal with that issue, are aware of the importance of the ethnic questions, are committed to ensure as much protection as possible for minorities. So in Hungary, as in our neighboring states, they respect cultural diversity of their own country and that of the region. The most important message of yours targets rather the young society. It was so great to see so much youngsters who spend this beautiful day. Where let us tell the viewers that outside there is a beautiful early spring sunshine, and a lot of youngsters in their 20s sit down in a room and speak about how to tackle wisely the interethnic questions in Central Europe. That's so great. That's really so great that the new generation grows up and continues that attention that today the elder generations pay to this question. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your interview, and we look
Thank you
forward
very
to
much.